the greatest grocery store in the world, Wegmans, has just opened in Brooklyn, New York, and we're going right now. So you might ask, what is Wegmans and why is it so special? Well, first, it's not like your everyday grocery store. Sure, it has everything you need and certainly everything that you don't need, but I think what makes Wegmans just the place that it is and why it's so beloved by its people is that it's a community. Like, it has everything, like with groceries and beyond. It's a space where families go. It's the place where you grow up, and it's this homey environment. And as they've gotten bigger, they've never lost track of that sense of community, that sense of home. It brings that local grocery store vibe into a little bit more of a commercialized space as they expand and continue to get bigger, as they continue to move beyond just upstate New York. I mean, that was certainly the birthplace. The Pittsford, not Pittsburgh, but Pittsford store is the flagship, and it has everything from a burger bar, winery, fancy restaurant, and hot food, and it has everything you could dream of. And now what's the most exciting part is that it's coming to New York City, which, as a city that moves 1,000,000 miles an hour, that's so aggressive and so crazy with cars honking in the background and people at every turn, it's just gonna be nice to have that breath of fresh air, that feeling of a hometown vibe, that community. And I'm just super excited to see what this Brooklyn Wegmans brings to the table and just feel that sense of home. Because when I left home, I left my family, and I left Wegmans. Man. Holy cow, there it is. Almost got hit by a bike. Sup? But there it is. Wegmans in all its glory. The homecoming. I am utterly ecstatic. And, it turns out it's just the Kings County Distillery and Lab office, but there's like these castle-like entrance that just feels so regal and so right about this experience. And my heart is racing. It's cold outside. It's like a beautiful fall day here in Brooklyn, and it's a little chilly, so we got that double turtleneck action happening here. But like, seeing Wegmans, my heart is warmed and my body has been lifted, and just here it is. There it is. Oh, it's not focusing, but you get the point. We have arrived. Well, folks, we made it. 6 months, and I am finally here. As an upstate New Yorker, I am thrilled to have returned home and have found home in the iron concrete jungle that is New York City. We have made and pilgrimaged our way back to Wegmans, and when rumor becomes reality, I am thrilled. So let us enjoy this moment. So just did some shopping and walked around, and the initial impressions is that it really does feel like home. I mean, they've kept the same color schemes, the same designs, and with a fresh, layout, and it was just, it felt so good. It just felt like I just closed my eyes and I just felt like, as cheesy as this sounds, like I know I'm romanticizing a grocery store, but when you move away from home and you leave behind a lot, and there's these staple locations and these iconic places from your hometown, and Wegmans is one of those, weirdly enough. It's like, after school, growing up, elementary, middle, high school, like Wegmans is everywhere. Moved a couple different times throughout my childhood, and so but Wegmans has been that constant grocery store. Sure, there was the local Mended Meadows, other grocery stores, but Wegmans is like a constant driver. And so you leave behind places from your hometown, so like having the opportunity to go experience that here in the city has been really great, especially the adjustment from moving from Rochester to a place like New York City. It was just really nice to kind of come here and get that, like I said earlier, like a breath of fresh air. It's got like a parking lot and this nice open space. I've had the pleasure of talking to this guy I met, Barnabas, who is also from Rochester, New York. Super nice guy. We bonded over Jenny beer, which is Genesee Brewery, which is another iconic Rochester staple, which they were carrying. But it was just really cool, a really great experience to just kind of go and, feel this vibe. There was still that New York energy, still lots of people. There's really no place to kind of record in there, in the sense that, everybody's like trying to get their stuff, like understandably don't want to like take up their time. But it was really cool. I hope that you guys kind of get an essence of what it's about, from the clips that I took. And, Wegmans is a really cool place. And another really awesome thing about this Wegmans is that they kept the prices consistent. In New York, everything is expensive. Like, that is kind of just a given, to spend lots of money. Like, you can play in the world of Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, and all these other, grocery stores, Food Emporium. Like, food's expensive, and it's expensive to live here. But what Wegmans has done is they've been able to maintain the pricing. So you can still get you can get 3 dozen eggs for like $2. It's incredible, and across the board, just relatively low prices, and that's huge. And still the hot bar, still everything's super consistent, and they've really kept that upstate vibe and identity and brought this to Brooklyn, and for that I am grateful, and for that I'm excited. So thank you for this time and joining me on this adventure to Wegmans. I'm going to head back to my humble abode, and until next time, pretty please drop a like if you liked, or dislike, comments below, it all helps. Thanks so much. Until next time.